Hello, and welcome to the Mythic Forecast, a monthly transmission attuned to the archetypal and embodied energies shaping the upcoming season that we're stepping into. I'm Hannah Lucas Goldberg, and I am a mythic folklorist, a storyteller oracle, and a bunch of other things, as are you, most likely, if you have found your way here. Welcome. We are multidimensional beings, but regardless of who we are being in this moment, the whole purpose is to orient ourselves within the story, what patterns are emerging, and what narrative threads are revealing with where we are in the season. So, with that, let's go ahead and begin. Okay. So, we're already a few days into Pisces season, and this is the end of the astrological wheel. This is the end that that full year, and Pisces is the final sign in the astrology wheel in Western tropical astrology. Pisces, my goddess. Well, Pisces is a beautiful sign. I have a lot of beautiful feelings for Pisces, which is really on brand because Pisces is a very feeling sign. As the last sign in the zodiac, it is really truly taking on little bits of all the other signs before it. So it's a very dreamy, merging, feeling sign. Like Pisces doesn't like boundaries. Pisces likes to merge and blur the lines between reality and dreams. And that's really a lovely thing. And it can also be very challenging. It can be very challenging because things are not always clear. Things are not always clear. Sometimes there's a little bit too much emotion, finding its way through the communication streams. So we have to sift through what is actually true and real. Not that feelings aren't real, but they're not always also real. So what's important to understand right now is this is the time we're entering. We are entering into the end of times. And I don't mean that in a doomsday way, even though right now it's feeling really challenging. And so that can also be part of it. And I'll get back to that in a moment as well. But we're entering into the ending of a full year. We are in the depths of winter if you are in the northern hemisphere. We are in the depths of summer if you're in the southern hemisphere, although you wouldn't know it here. It's been raining and cold the whole time for the last few days. But, it's an important moment to understand we're in the depths. We're in the depths of slowness, regardless of if it's summer or winter. It's important to understand you're in the depths of something that moves slowly. And right now, time is moving more slowly. And that's purposeful for us because it's time for us to slow down as well. We are here to go inward, whether because it's far too hot or rainy or whatever it is to function at optimal levels, or the opposite, but there's too much cold, too much snow. It's too much darkness for us to want to be out in the world. So it's a call to come inward, to be reflective. And Pisces does a beautiful job of that for us. So that is one of the invitations of this upcoming month that we're in. We're here to be reflective. What's happened in the last year? We're moving towards Spring Equinox, the beginning of life once again. And it's happening this year, and there's a number of things happening at the same time. But Spring Equinox, we've got the beginning of the astrology wheel happening again. We'll re-enter Aries season. I know here in Bali, we have the new year of Nyepi coming through. And I think also Nowruz, which is Persian New Year, is all happening again around the same time. And that's interesting because obviously there is always death before new life. And right now we've been in a very, very, very crunchy season. Aquarius season has been intense. We've had eclipses. We've had the entrance into the Lunar New Year of Fire Horse. We're entering Mercury retrograde, and Mercury retrograde in Pisces, but during a full moon in Virgo. eclipse. So there, and that's all well and good, but it is crunchy. There's a lot happening. We've also had something else happen really massively in astrology, where Saturn and Neptune have become conjunct at 0 degrees Aries. That hasn't happened in, I think, a few hundred years. And this is a moment of rebirth. There's a lot of beautiful spiritual language around rebirth, where it's like, oh, it's beautiful, it's shiny, it's bright, newness, new life. But there's also a lot of trauma that happens during birth. It's a very intense experience, both for mother and child during a birth. So there is a moment here that we're entering that is very crunchy, and this is that liminal time. And I think even in the Mayan calendar, this is known as the time between time, before the new calendar and the Mayan age begins. So this is a crunchy time. This is a crunchy time to say it's crunchy everywhere, regardless of what your background is, what your belief systems are, where you are in the world. Things are moving, things are happening. It's intense. And I know that we're feeling that everywhere in the world right now, regardless of where you are. And regardless of if you are an American like I am or not, there is a very big impact of how the United States impacts the rest of the world. And the United States is in a death process. And I don't mean that in a way like I want that to be happening. But there's a lot of astrologers who will speak to how United States has been in a Pluto return for a while, and with Pluto being the planet of death and rebirth, there is an opportunity for things to be shed and reignited, reborn, restructured. So there is a reorganization happening, and the United States right now, I know, it's feeling really, really dark, and it's feeling really heavy for a lot of people. And that can reverberate outwards to the rest of the world very easily. So right now, with everything happening, I just want to say, be gentle with yourselves. We are at the end of times and the beginning of times. And what happens at the end of times is a shedding and a repatterning. And it is requiring us to get really clear on what is real and what is not real, what is true and what is not true, what stays and what needs to go. And if you haven't already done this work deeply, it is being asked of you and required of you now. And that can create a lot of cognitive dissonance in the psyche and in the body, in the nervous system. So go gently, go gently, go gently, go gently. Reach out, ask for help. Understand that we are in unprecedented times. And in unprecedented times, it requires us to show up in unprecedented ways. So if you're showing up in a different way than you ever have before, get curious about it. Get excited about it if you can. And get sad about it if you feel it. But there is something shedding. And right now, in this time in between times, we are being asked to stay inward, to be in stillness, to not require movement, to not lean into communication, to be still. In the Celtic calendar, this is still Imbolc. Imbolc is the light in the darkness, the lumen naturae. In alchemy, it's called the lumen naturae because it is the paradoxical light that we find within the dark. It is the silver lining in the storm cloud. And with every bit of darkness that we experience, there is always hope, there is always light. And this stillness is requiring us to find that light within the darkness and to forge ahead, gently and slowly. Not to push, not to labor, not to force, but just to breathe. And so because that is what is being asked of us in this next month, it is also requiring us to understand we are in transition. And in transition, it is best to move slowly because we don't really know what's round the corner. We don't know how it's all still landing into place. It's as if someone picked up a glass with water and mud in it and swirled it around, and we've been in the chaos of swirled mud and water energy, and now that person's put the glass down and the sediment is settling, and we're seeing how that lands, and we'll be able to see the dirt, the earth, the mud, and see how that's separate from the clear water itself. That's what this time is asking of us in this upcoming month, to move slowly through the transition, to see how it all shakes out, to see how it lands with us, and to see who emerges from all of this as well. Because rebirth is inevitable right now. So ask yourself, who is required within yourself to step forward for this new way of being that's happening, whether we want it to or not. I actually just finished 2 mythic initiation journeys through film for this exact thing. And if you have questions around that, I'll put a link below, but it's to support people in navigating change in their lives. So if you are going through a change, if you are desiring a change, if you are fed up with the way it has been and you are ready for something new, these journeys can potentially be very, very helpful. And the best thing is that you get to watch movies while you do it, because we use film as a self-reflective tool. It is so beautiful. So yeah, just that. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some cards and see what's coming through for the rest of this mythic month as well. The first deck that wants to come through is the Ancient Stones deck by Rebecca Campbell. Beautiful deck. Ooh, that one just popped out intensely. Anything else? All right, great. That one too. All right, let's see. Okay, so this is hilarious. Of course it is. I love when it happens this way, and it this is just how it is. The first one to come up was releasing the past. Releasing the past, emerging, transforming, energies transmuted. No way. And look, we've got this being with light streaming right down through the center, getting into alignment right before this beautiful cave. And this really looks like a Neolithic cave, where it would have been in ancient times, even a cavern of death, like a burial ground. I've been to one that's actually very similar in the UK. And I cannot remember what it's named. Kemet Hills? I don't know. I have to look it up, but fascinating. But here we are, releasing the past, getting in alignment. This, what is not allowed to stay is leaving, baby. That is what this is about. And then what comes next? The gateway. Open doors, opportunities, right timings. Look at this. It may not feel okay, because there's a lot of things that are not okay right now that are happening, but the not okayness is coming up to show us what needs to go. We can no longer remain blind to it. So even if it feels like this is wrong, this shouldn't be happening, first of all, you're not incorrect. This shouldn't be happening. If it is really truly wrong and in alignment with evil, and there is some very evil stuff revealing itself, but it is the perfect timing for it to release, and new doors are opening as a result of what is leaving, what is shedding, what must go. This is you walking through the portal of your life to the next stage, because you are ready now. Preparing to be ready is not the move anymore. We are ready now. You are ready now, honey. Love that for you. For we. And then the last one, hilarious. Here we are. Soul agreement. Soul mission. Oh, a butterfly. Did you just see that? It just flew right up. I love that. Butterfly. Well, no, that's not what the card says. The card says soul agreement, soul mission, soul plan, life purpose. But look at this. It's about birth, baby. We've got a woman with a child in her womb. Look at this. You cannot make this up. I picked these right now. I didn't do anything to like this is just it. I love this. I love this work. Look at this. This is the soul agreement. You are here to experience yourself in the midst of unprecedented times. Step into your calling. Choose the destiny timeline. You are here for a reason. What is your hero storyline? What is it? This is what I love working with people on, is like, where are you in the heroic narrative of your life? Because it is a heroic narrative. It's not just main character energy. It really isn't. Main character energy is entitlement. Hero energy, legend energy, mythic, epic, story energy. It's a very different frequency. This is what you're here for. This is the time, baby. And you already know. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see. There's another one that wants to come through. Here's an interesting one. The Woodland Wardens deck. Love this. Beautiful deck. So the creatures, right? So we had the ancient stones that came through. All about land and earth medicine, grounding, especially during a very swirly Pisces season. And now we've got the Woodland Wardens. Again, creatures. Animals. When animals show up in life and in dreams, what are they telling us? Like, you just had that butterfly show up. Butterflies. Get to that in a second. I feel like doing too much multitasking right now. Anything else? All right. Beautiful. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, we had 4 cards of the Woodland Wardens coming out. The first one is so gentle. The deer and oat. Healing. Look how beautiful that is. The deer. And that's what's happening right now. Healing. This is what's required. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance happening that is requiring a lot of recalibration and calling scattered parts of ourselves back in. It is really moving through the grief of what has been lost, what has been yielded, what is not allowed to come with us. So very gently with that deer medicine. And then, of course, another one also very similar, the antelope and wheat nourishment. And I love this because here too is gentleness, nourishment. What does it mean to be nourished? I think it's Arabic. The word nur means light. How beautiful is that? Yeah. What is nourishing your soul? Give it to yourself. That's that. It's crunchy times. What do you need to take care of your physical, emotional, psychological, energetic, spiritual vessels? There's multiple bodies. And in yoga, we call them the koshas, and there's different bodies. Like you're even like a Russian stacking doll, the matrushkas. Think of yourself that way. There are multiple layers of you. You're like an onion, baby. As Shrek would put it. Take care of the multiple layers of onion or matrushka doll that you are. And then here's one that I love because this is what's feeling like it's coming next. And it feels so good. The duck and the chrysanthemum. Look, baby. I love it. Look. And that's what it feels like. Once we get to spring equinox, it feels like there's a fire. And that Saturn and Neptune that have just moved into Aries energy, we could look at that as a very destructive thing. And if people haven't done their work, and by their work, I mean internal work, and come into alignment with soul, with mission, with self, with external reality and internal experience of reality, it will be challenging. But for those who have done the work and understand how reality is working, is vibing, is moving, Neptune, the planet of dreams and illusions, dissolving boundaries, very similar to Pisces energy because they're connected, of course. And Saturn, the planet that's connected with Aquarius, the season we just moved out of, boundaries, time, dharma, getting in alignment. Both of those planets have moved into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac. Fire, ignition, warrior, the ram, moving forward. For me, I'm seeing it as a very empowered experience because basically it's like it's time to put dreams into action. It's time to put dharma and service-based missions into action. And we have the energy around us to do it. And if not, again, if that doesn't feel true for you, you might be in a different place in your story, and that's okay too. It is aligning you to your warrior, and it is allowing the dissolution of irreality, unreality. It is dissolving the illusion of reality. It is dissolving my capacity to have and use real words. Okay. The last card to come through, the cat and lavender, independence. And I love this. And this is like my cat. Just looks like Georgie. He's napping right now, but like, look, it is. It's my cat. I love it. And this is a beautiful one. It's number 1 too, which is interesting because again, we're stepping into a new year at the end of this season, mythological season. We're stepping more into this kind of sovereignty, independence. This is what the ram, this is what Aries is all about. That is coming after Pisces season. This is where we're heading. I love it. The black cat with a little white at its chest, like really, truly a beautiful symbol, a really, truly beautiful symbol of light in the dark. Oh, there it is, full circle. And right here, right at the high heart chakra, in between the throat and the heart. Soul mission activated, soul agreement in place. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And the final card, and I did pick this one beforehand because this in Celtic Druid practice, in cosmology, there's trees for each new season. And right now we are in the new and ash season. And the new and ash is connected to, I'm going to butcher the name of this, Yggdrasil, the Norse tree of life that Odin hung upside down on to receive the runes and to receive all knowledge. So we are in a time of, again, self-reflection. This is the hanged man archetype in the tarot. It is connected to seeing the world upside down. And maybe the world feels upside down and you feel right side up. So everything feels topsy-turvy. Slow, still, surrender, go within, see the light within the dark, emerge whole and sovereign. And that butterfly that flew by earlier, butterflies represent the emergence after being in the dark. They dissolve to goo in caterpillar phase before they re-emerge as beautiful butterflies. That's where we're all at right now. And some of us are disintegrating into goo as others are emerging and drying their wings and taking flight. And all of it is perfect. All of it is perfect. And you are not alone. You are not alone. You have to do the work on your own, but you're not alone in that, if that makes sense. And if you have any additional questions, this is exactly the work that I do with my one-on-one. And this is exactly the work that I do with the Mythic Initiation Journeys, which is all self-paced. You can do it yourself. And there's no timetable for that. It's so beautiful. This is it, though. Moving through the transitions with grace, even if that means turning into a puddle on the floor for a few moon cycles. Speaking from personal experience on that. This is it. This is why we're here, sweethearts. To step into destiny timeline. And that's what we are doing right now. We're doing so softly, inwardly, recollecting, recalibrating, seeing how it all lands. Be graceful with yourself in that moment too. You can have a lot more energy to move forward afterwards. Thank you so much for being here. If any of this resonated for you, please like, subscribe, forward it along, comment. I'd love to know who's here listening. Thank you so much for your support. I'll be here again next month with another Mythic monthly forecast for you as we move into the new year on so many different levels. Ciao, ladies.